Welcome back to London Beautiful Life. My name is Phoenix Rose, and here we are once again at Sundance Film Festival. We are here today to interview the cast and crew of the film Brian and Charles. Come with us and see how we got on. Film, I had some interesting thoughts when I saw it all, because I just thought there's some really underlying messages through it. So it's a comedy, it's very heartfelt, but I felt like there's AI in there, which is obviously very prevalent right now, loneliness, mental health, that kind of thing. So I felt like you actually managed to hit on some really good topics and do it in a really light-hearted and wonderful way. And I think that's the beauty of comedy. What's your thoughts about that? Where were your thoughts at through the process?
That was all Chris, really.
Yeah, it was all me, Dennis, yeah. No, we started off just wanting to make a really funny comedy. So a lot of it, I think, is probably coincidence, the fact that it happened that way. Because we used to do it as a stand-up show where I was the robot, David was Brian. So a lot of the thoughts on AI are probably coincidental, but yeah, we're happy to make out that we've made a comment upon that. So yeah, we'll take
Really
it.
happy.
Yeah.
I agree. I absolutely agree. That was perfect. What was it that sort of drew you to work on this project?
I mean, I just my mates, really. Like, I knew Chris and Rupert, who produced it, and I didn't know David then, but like that's when we where we made the short film. And yeah, I mean, creatively, just like to do like sort of characters like this that are so silly and kind of like it's like on paper like quite stupid, to then treat that in a sort of emotional way was like really exciting for me.
I think it's a really wonderful way to kind of depict the human experience through comedy, because, you know, it can be very, very tough out there. We have just been through a very tough time. Why do you believe that we need comedy more than ever now?
Yeah, I think yeah, you're right. Like right now, I think, especially comedy in cinemas as well. I think like that sort of collective experience, I think, is really important. And like, and our film specifically is about like loneliness and isolation. So we are dealing with those issues, whether deliberately or not. But yeah, I mean, comedy lets you obviously laugh, but I think it also like opens up your emotions to cry. So I think that's important as well.
Why do you think that, because of what we've just been through, comedy is so important right now?
Well, because it's all been fairly bleak, and so it's a nice place to hide from the fact that the world's going to hell on a handcart. You can pretend it isn't for an hour and a half, which is nice.
It's a great place to be, isn't it? I mean, obviously,
surprisingly great considering how bleak that part of the world can get in the dead of winter. But yeah.
I guess that's the thing, is that laughter can just take you away from yourself. It can take you away from everything. And what would you say, because you've done quite a few major projects and you've played an array of characters, what type of acting do you think that you most lean towards as your favourite? Is it more the dramatic? Is it more the comedy? What's your kind of, your vibe?
Well, I like doing both, but it's great when you can get a bit of both into one job. I don't know, really, they're quite different. When I first started doing Back, which is the thing I did with David Mitchell and Robert Webb, I realised that it was quite strange, because as an actor, as a sort of doing straight stuff, I have a little bell in my head that goes off when I'm untruthful, whereas in comedy I'm like, I don't have the same helpful bell going, yeah, you're really funny, no, you're not funny. So it can be slightly disconcerting, but you just have to trust, and those guys are absolute pros. So yes, they held my hand, not literally, especially not after COVID.
How are you feeling about the film being at Sundance and it's sort of getting some airtime?
Who doesn't want to have a film in Sundance? You know, I was saying earlier on, like, we were all set to do America, and I was filming in America at the time, and so we were going to go to Utah, and we were going to, like, you know, have a great time, and then everything got closed down. There was like loads of COVID there, and 2 weeks before we were due to go, you know, so it was like, that was a bit of a, because you're like, this is our moment for Sundance, you know, but look, we're here, it's London Sundance, so all is good. And, you know, the film is sold in America, so amazing.
Incredible. And also, what a testament to your project, because, you know, you hit COVID, you couldn't go to America, and you just managed to kind of all rally together and create this magic.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did the read-through 2 weeks before we went into lockdown, which was mad, you know, because we were like, we're going to do this amazing film, and then all of a sudden lockdown happened, and then you're like, well, I mean, are we going to film again? Is this going to get made? You know, you just don't know, do you? So that was kind of like up in the air, and then you just kind of get on with your life, and then it got to like the end of the year, and everyone's like, we're going to go, and we're like, cool, let's do it. So it was all of a sudden we were in gorgeous North Wales and emptiness, and everyone was still kind of in their houses, so it was amazing.